This is Carl at National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk you through this 2022 Autumn Ridge travel trailer model 26BH, as in bunkhouse. This is not a floor plan video or a sales video, it's a how-to video, so I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work, okay? Alright. So obviously this is storage. I just want to show you, this is your dump hose here, and then you have this reducer to reduce your 30 amp plug down to a regular 20 so you can plug it in at home if you need to plug it in while you're packing, that sort of thing. Power awning with LED strip, outside speakers. Okay. Your front pass-through storage right here. You get a sprayer with it. That plugs into the spray port, so we'll keep our eyes open for that. Then you have some cranks here. The cranks obviously are for the stabilizer jacks, and also this power tongue jack here. If it happens to fail, you can pull this plug out of the top, this plex or rubber plug, and you can put the crank right on there and crank it manually if you have to get yourself out of trouble. Okay, so you have a deep cycle marine battery with 2 LP tanks. Okay, this is just the other side of your pass-through storage here. Like so. Okay, so that's your furnace vent there. Now this is a fresh water fill for your fresh water tank. Of course, the most common way to get water to the trailer is your city water hookup. But if you happen to be camping someplace that does not have city water, you can pre-fill your onboard tank right here and then use the onboard pump to pump the water. Everything will work just as though you have city water, even though you're pumping it from the tank. Of course, and that's the drain for your city water tank right down there. Or I mean for your fresh water tank, I'm sorry. You have a 30 amp cord, 30 feet long, and I showed you the reducer if you need to reduce it down. This is your water dock here. So you can see with this drawing here, when this blue valve is horizontal, it fills the fresh water tank. When it's vertical, it's city water. So really you have 2 ways to fill the fresh water tank on this one. You can do it this way if you're already hooked up here, or you could take the hose and put it in your fresh water fill right here. So there's 2 ways to fill the tank. But for this, right now we're set up on city water. You'll just hook the hose right on here, turn it on, and you're all set. Of course, that sprayer I showed you plugs in right here. Also, this is the black tank flush. So after you dump your black tank down here, so you got the black tank valve here and then the gray. Okay, if you dump the black tank, which is toilet water and waste, you leave the valve open, then you can put the hose at the dump station right down there and turn it on. It'll flush out the tank, clean off the sensors so you get a good accurate reading, that sort of thing. Okay. All right, and this red and blue hose with the valve on it, those are low points. That has to do with winterizing the trailer. Okay. Back here you have your water heater. Okay. So the switches to control it are inside. Okay. This is where you drain it right here, if you can see that. So that's the drain. Never run it without water in the tank. Right now the tank has water in it. We've summerized the trailer. It's ready to be camped in. But if you ever winterize and then you come back in the spring and de-winterize, make sure you fill your water tank up before you turn especially the electric heating element on. But you don't want to run the gas either. So, okay. I'll show you the switch. Excuse me. I'll show you the switches when we get inside. One more thing. This is a quick connect for the LP system. So if you want to plug a grill in there or a griddle, something like that, you can do that. Just make sure it's the right type for a travel trailer there. They run on different amounts of pressure. So you want to make sure you get the one that runs on, you know, 11, 12 inches in the water column, something like that. So, okay. Let me see what else we've got here. Oh yeah, so this is pre-wired for a backup camera. You can see the housing up there. So if you want to add a backup camera, that's where it goes. Also, while we're looking up, the manufacturer states you should inspect the roof every 90 days. So somebody needs to go up there, look at all the sealant, make sure there's no cracking or separation where water can get in. Make sure there's no damage to any of the roofing material or attachments by low branches or road debris flying up there. You're just protecting your investment by inspecting it. Odds are you won't have to do anything for a long time, but that's why you're inspecting it, to make sure. Okay? Alright, so here we are inside. Let me get my bearings straight here. Okay. So, this is your power awning. Very simple, in and out. Never leave the awning out unattended. If you're not going to be at the campsite, roll it in. Okay. Your water pump is right here. Remember I told you you could pump water out of the fresh water tank if you don't have city water. That's where you do that. You also use this to winterize the trailer. To light your water heater on gas, like that. To light it on electricity or turn on the electricity, the electric heating element, you do that there. Like I said, never run it empty. Always make sure you've got water in it before you turn it on, or you'll have to repair it, because that element will burn out very quickly. Okay, so your battery's charged. Fresh water still has some in it, but we're prepping here. Black tank is empty, gray tank is empty. So you can see it graduates up in 1/3 increments. They light up, the LEDs light up. Once you get past 2/3, you got to start thinking about dumping your black and gray tank. Okay? Alright, so down here, this is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector right here. It should always be green like it is. The LED should be green. If it's not, you want to get it serviced, okay? No matter what, if it's not green, get it serviced. Now this will go off if it detects carbon monoxide or LP gas, and so if it goes off, you take everybody outside, leave the door open, you know, shut the gas off, figure out what's going on. If it beeps very slowly, the same tone but very slowly, it's telling you your battery's low. So I'll put it through the test here so you can hear it. LP is good, carbon monoxide coming up, and then the low battery alert. And then back to green like it should be. Like I said, if it's not green, get it serviced. This is a Gfci plug here. Every plug in the trailer, including the ones on the outside, are wired through a Gfci. So if you're just looking or using what looks like a regular plug and it stops working, remember it's wired through this, so you would reset it there. Okay? Alright. The table can drop down, and you put the back cushions in there to fill the space until you can turn that into a bed. This jackknife's flat here, this couch, so you can turn that into a bed. Your range hood has a vent and a light and a vent, a fan vent, I guess. You have a microwave, which works like any other microwave. Let me see here. The oven, I'm not sure if they've got the gas turned on right now. I have to see here. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to go turn it on. I'll just walk you through it, but we'll see. So this is the sparker here. You spark the unit by turning this clockwise. Alright, so then you got 3 burners and 3 knobs, of course. So let's see what we got here. No, he's got it off. But when you spark it, it will light immediately, okay? The oven has a pilot light all the way down at the back on the bottom. So you can see that sparking back there. So you go to the oven knob, which is the one all the way to the right. You'll go to the picture of the flame, which is pilot light. Then you depress it. You keep it depressed while you're lighting it. So you spark it with your other hand, turning that clockwise till you see the flame light down here. After it lights, you're still holding this in. You hold it for another 10 seconds or so to heat up the thermocouple. Then you're going to go to operating temperature. When you shut it off, the pilot light goes out also. So you're going to have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Also, always travel with this shut. Never leave it open, because it will, if it's closed, it will not break no matter what. But if you leave it open, it will break. Okay. Refrigerator is just a 12 volt DC refrigerator. It's all self-explanatory. You got different energy modes, and then you have your temperature here. It's all runs on 12 volt DC. This device here is the power converter. So this converts AC to DC power. So first of all, you can see you got circuit breakers here, 120 AC, just like you'd have at home, and they're all labeled, right? So that's the distribution panel and where your circuit breakers are, right? Then the AC power is converted to 12 volt DC on this side, and you got 12 volt fuses here, right? And they're labeled right up there. So that's where the 12 volt power comes from. This is also a battery tender, so it'll sense how much energy your battery up front has and needs. And if it's charged, it'll just trickle a couple amps up there to maintain it. If it's low, it'll send 10 amps or whatever it needs to maintain the charge on your front battery. That's as long as you're plugged into shore power, okay? If you ever lose the entire 12 volt side, let's say there's a wild lightning strike or a power surge or something, always check the master fuse down here first. That's the best place to look. That's probably what it's going to be. Okay? So it's your distribution panel for AC. It also converts AC to DC, and it charges or tends your battery. Okay. All right. So we have bunks. Right. Your thing to know about you got a backing plate here to hang a TV bracket. The thing to know about your antennas. This is, I can shut this off if I need to. See that? But you're going to want it on. That's the digital signal booster for the digital antenna. So you won't get a good picture if you don't have that on. So make sure you turn that on if you're using the antenna. Over here, excuse me, you got AM, FM radio. You have USB, so you can stream off a USB. Take all your albums on one stick and take them all with you, whatever. It has Bluetooth, so you can hook up wirelessly with your phone or your tablet. And this HDMI here is an in. So you can pull a rubber plug out of it. So if you want to go into the system, you could, let's say with a game machine or let's say a Blu-ray player, because this doesn't play disc. So you can go straight into the system right there. It's really easy to hook up to, okay? So it does everything you need, and then some. Your thermostat, it's very simple. You just hit the mode button to light it up, like that. It's off, and then you're just going to scroll through fan, air conditioning, and furnace, and then off. So the fan is just the air conditioner running without the compressor. It just circulates air. Cool, obviously, is full air conditioning, and then furnace is your LP furnace. So one thing to remember, if it gives you an option for the fan speed, low, high, and auto, for example, always choose auto. It's the best way to go. Okay? So you have your vanity here. Let me see here. There we go. Your toilet is a typical RV toilet in that there's the flush pedal there. The black tank is directly below. Alright? So when you get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water. You'll come in here. You'll dump 1 dose of chemical in the bowl. Then you'll step on the pedal and let about a gallon or so of water go into the black tank along with the chemical. Some people use more water, it's up to you. But the main thing is you can't use it dry, because if you do, the smell will be terrible, and it can also get clogged up. So always use chemical and water in it before you start. Now if you were to, let's say you were staying at the campground for another week, but you had to dump your black tank because it was full, well, if you dump it, you'd come in here and repeat the procedure because the black tank's empty. You put chemical and a gallon of water in there, and then you're all set again. So keep that in mind. Of course, the shower works like any other shower. The fan, you always want to run the fan with the shower, because these things are built really tight these days, and you don't want to create an environment where mold or mildew could grow. So that's your smoke detector. We got a mess up here still. We're still cleaning. Let me see here. There's a switch right there. Okay. So you have TV hookups here, and there'll be a backing plate there, so you can put a swing out bracket. This is just telling you it's pre-wired for solar. It's just you know, it's just telling you that. That basically means there's a port on the roof usually that can be solar panels can be hooked up to. Okay, so the escape window works like this. You push it all the way through. It would go all the way through. Then you grab hold of the red tab and pull the screen out, and then you can exit out in an emergency. Okay, there's some storage underneath the bed, so keep that in mind. It's like a foot locker. Okay, so I think that covers it. Let me look around and see if I forgot anything. I think we've got most of it. So, I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting the roof. Manufacturer says every 90 days. You're just protecting your investment, so make sure you take care of that. And right now, this is summarized. It's in camping mode. There's no antifreeze in the system now. It's water in there, and so keep that in mind. It's ready to go. Okay? Thank you.